My people, make una watch you because it is already over for APC in 2027. Senator Sani have just dropped a heavy political bombshell through the presidency, and this might be the very end of Tinubu. Tinubu will not be able to win 2027 election again because of this vital evidence. Sani said that Gabriela cannot go scot-free because of the bribing cadre, and this vital information has brought to the end of Tinubu regime, and APC are in a panic mode right now. This information is sending Tinubu back to his home because everyone is aware of this, and we did not expect this coming. We did not expect this coming. Stay tuned because the details Sani just released changes everything. Make una watch see the details by una sef, make una use una own eye see the details, see how bribing and corruption dey take place from Asuro to every other parastatus in Nigeria. Make una watch see.
That is going on concerning a certain Prince Adeni, and then involving the Chief of Staff to the President of the Federal Republic, Mr. Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila. A brief backgrounder. This Prince Adeni claims to have gotten a letter of appointment as Director General of the Presidential Foreign Intervention Promotion Council, and he accused the Chief of Staff Femi Gbajabiamila of collecting 400 million naira upfront payments to get that job, and an outstanding 200 naira yet to be paid. But swiftly, the Chief of Staff, has come out to deny the existence of such an agency, nor any contact or relationship between himself and the individual. And not only that, just yesterday, the media advisor to the president, Mr. Bayo Onanuga, came out strongly on behalf of Mr. Gbajabiamila and the presidency to distance themselves from this individual, calling him outrightly a con man who has a long history of being a fraudster and all of this. How does this entire scandal, how does it appear to you? What's your reading of it?
Well, when I saw the text of his Prince Adeniji's press conference, I took it upon myself to ask some pertinent questions, and I wrote a piece on my Twitter handle, and I got quite a lot of following, and a lot of liftings, and a lot of reposting. My candid opinion is that that matter cannot be swept under the bridge only on the allegation that the man is a con man. He has raised fundamental issues where common sense is supposed to be at play. I will give you, very important issues which he raised in that his press conference. Number one, he had to pay 400 million, and then with the promise to pay the balance of 200 million. Again, he has to forfeit his takeoff grant, which is 48% of the takeoff grant, which is about 27-point-something billion. And about 1.3 billion has been earmarked on pages 50 to 51 of the 2026 Appropriation Act. Again, accounts have been opened with the CBN, including domiciliary accounts of both dollars and pound sterling. And he also alleged that attempts were made on his life, so that those evidences will be wiped out. Before now, we have had some tales that these things are happening, but we could not pin our hands on hard evidence. Now, the man raised also another question, which is a natural psychological question. He said, if the presidency has nothing to do about this matter, it is not Gbajabiamila that will issue a statement, which is correct. It is Bayo Ononuga, Sunday Dare, or any other presidential media aide that should issue a statement. So Gbajabiamila quickly issued that statement because he felt guilty and he wanted to absolve himself from any blame. Now, the coming out of Bayo Ononuga at this time to issue another statement is just a collaboration within the villa, which we know. I have worked in the villa. There is a collaboration. He will call Bayo Ononuga, please help me. Let us get out of this mess. You know, we are going to put our boss in a mess. Let us just put something out so and kill this matter. But the matter cannot go away because there are documentary evidence that suggests something is going on. The man says he has an approval from the head of service. He was given approval for 314 staff to work with him. And he has been given office at the Federal Secretariat. All these things cannot be manufactured. They are things that must have existed. Now, such agency is always a creation of the presidency because it is not in existence and it is not an MDA, a ministry, department, or agency of any government, of the government. So if it's a new creation, it can be created under the presidency, and the chief of staff can make such creation, write a memo to Mr. President, and get approval of Mr. President, and that's all. And then he can now dispatch. So I don't believe that the man is lying. I believe that with thorough investigation, we will get to the root of the matter. Now, we know that the president has a soft spot for Gbajabiamila. If you remember when there was this issue of this actor, Elliot. No,
Desmond Elliot, yes.
Desmond Elliot.
Desmond Elliot.
You know,
the Surulere
issue. You know, he came out to say that Mr. President had to call him into his chambers, you know, and caution him about what is happening. You know, he was trying to show how close he was with Mr. President. But that was also an admission that he has the ears of Mr. President. And so if he has the ears of Mr. President, you know, so many of the atrocities he has there that are allegedly been linked to him, you know, when at a point in time, there were rumors that he was going to be removed by Mr. President before finally Mr. President came out to say he's not going to remove him. You know, those things suggest that there is something, there is an underlying something that is going on within the villa that Nigerians don't know. So I believe very strongly that an independent investigation, you know, that will involve civil society and other credible organizations should be set up so that, you know, the real background issue will be unearthed. But it is not sufficient. No amount of statements, press releases, or anything that can water down this allegation, except an independent investigation. That is the only thing that can water it down. But we can assure you that there are so many allegations against, you know, which of course have not been substantiated,
yes,
you know, against the chief of staff in terms of even, you know, his involvement in all monetary matters, you know, that has to do with the 2027 election, people have accused him of being the bagman, collecting money on behalf of the presidency, preparing for the 2027 election and so forth and so on. Being also part and parcel of the, 800 billion, or is it of the state governor's contribution?
Yes.
Even his hands were seen to be part and parcel. He's also been accused from several quarters that some of the monies that are being given to state governors, which are extra budgetary approvals given to state governors, certain percentages are collected on behalf of the government, all in preparation for 2027 election. Now, if these allegations, are flying here and there, even though there are no substantive proof to them, the need for an independent investigation will clear the doubts in the minds of many. Otherwise, it will remain in the minds of people that something shady is going on in the villa, and that will not augur well for the government.
Alhaji, thank you for your opening remarks. But, we're talking about the presidency of Nigeria here.
Yes.
And I'm so glad I'm speaking with a man such as yourself, because you worked in that establishment.
Yes.
So you understand the weightiness of this entire situation.
Exactly.
Alhaji, can you explain to Nigerians, how is it? Because it is not just the presidency now, even though the allegation is being directed at the #1 official of the president, the chief of staff.
No, he's not the #1.
Okay.
But because the chief of staff nomenclature is not in the constitution.
Yes.
So #1 official of the president is the secretary to the government of the federation.
Okay. But I said that #1 because that's the closest person to the president.
Yeah, of course.
Working directly with him.
Yes.
Proximity.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing goes through or comes out of him without him.
Yes.
Without passing through him.
Exactly.
Correct me, sir, if I'm wrong.
No, it's like he is more or less like the principal staff officer to the president. So every documentation that comes out goes to him. He is the one that will distribute the documentation to respective places. So that definitely.
And other jobs that he does, very critical job or sensitive job that he also does.
Yes.
That's what I mean. Now, beyond that is that key institutions of the Nigerian state dropped the ball, because the Central Bank of Nigeria was mentioned that this guy said they had accounts. You open an account, like you said, domiciliary account, dollars and pounds at the Central Bank of Nigeria. How could a fictitious organization achieve that? The National Assembly, this guy has been interfacing with National Assembly because a budget was passed, a budget 2026 appropriation bill was passed by both concurrently by the House of Reps and the Senate. And then he went to the president for assent and was assented to. 1.3 billion naira was earmarked for this so-called fictitious agency. Secretary of the Government of Federation, played a role. Head of service played a role in the deployment of personnel. Office was given to this individual. Accountant General, I could go on and on. Security agencies. Can you explain to us how is this possible for one? Because the impression being created by Mr. Gbajabiamila and Bayo Onanuga is that this guy is has a global network of con men who pull this off. I don't understand, sir. How is this possible?
No, that's not possible. It is an indictment on the federal government of Nigeria if they continue to send this narrative. This narrative is playing on the intelligence of Nigerians. It is absolutely not possible. They even brought something that he was looking for a note verbal.
Yes, to procure visas.
To procure visas.
Yes.
From the Foreign Affairs Ministry. You can't go looking for note verbal if you are not an official of the government. Again, they said, the office of the SGF was asking questions about the existence of that same this thing. why would the office of the SGF be even making such inquiry?
Who issues the letter in the first place, Alhaji? Letter of appointment?
The letter of appointment ought to have been issued by the secretary to the government of the federation. But, you know, in extreme cases where you have, if you are very friendly with the office, the chief of staff can issue a letter and it will stand, you know, because, you know, the SGF will not query it, you know, and he will not even go to Mr. President and say, somebody, SGF is trying to take over my job by issuing a letter of appointment.
That chief of staff is trying to take my job.
Yeah, the chief of staff is trying to take my job, you know, by issuing a letter of appointment. No. You know, these are cooperations that normally take place within the organization. So it is totally, you know, misplaced for anybody to say that that the man is well connected, he has a bigger organization, criminal organization that can pull this off. This is not the 19th century where somebody will sell a non-existent airport
you know, to a Brazilian bank.
To a Brazilian bank. This is not the period. In this period, we are in a period where there are so many checks and balances. This place checks this one checks this one, this one. So it cannot go just unnoticed, you know, by anybody. It cannot pass the budgetary processes and for it to be in our appropriation acts.
Acts became a law.
Yeah, it became a law. And then you are saying it's fake. How can that be fake? Has he gone to bribe all the lawmakers, you know, for them not to see it? Nobody mentioned it. Nobody suspected anything, you know. That's not possible. So I can confirm to you that all these are attempts for a cover-up. But the best thing that should be done is a proper investigative panel that should look at these things, examine all the issues. Let the man come before the panel. He said one of the other persons that they were together with died mysteriously, you know, under fire at an Otaku hotel, and that he also suffered, you know, assassination attempt on his way to Kaduna, you know, and his phones and some of his valuables were taken away. These are very grievous allegations that press release or press statements are not sufficient to put that thing behind us. So, like as all reasonable Nigerians have started saying, the presidential candidate of ADC has made a mention of it, and some other, you know, very important Nigerians. They have said, okay, please come out and let Tinubu, you know, set up a panel to investigate this. Otherwise, you know, it's a very serious issue. It's a very serious sleaze allegation, you know. And the other issues I raised over to you will now, you know, by extrapolation, be confirmed as those are the issues. These are the trademark of the presidency. You know, if he had succeeded, perhaps, if the man had agreed that he's going to give the 48%, perhaps we may not even know. We'll just see an agency. And then we will now start shouting, Yoruba, Ronu, they have done Yoruba again. They don't know, you know, the allegation that it's a Yoruba government is now turning out to be no, that even the Yoruba people pay money to be in a position. So it is not even about, you know, the love of the Yoruba people. It is about the love of money. And so these are the issues that will come into play. So for people who have been making noise that this is a Yoruba government and Yoruba, all appointments are made to Yoruba, perhaps this one is now trying to clarify that it is not about the Yorubas. If the Yorubas are excited that Tinubu is appointing them, it is not about the Yoruba. It is about the money involved. Unless you agree to part with money before you can now be employed.
Alhaji, let's of course state for the sake of you know, public indemnity that all of these are still in the realm of allegations.
Of course, even
they're all innocent until proven guilty.
His press statement are mere allegations.
Exactly.
But we are analyzing those allegations.
Absolutely.
And in analyzing those allegations, we are bringing out the fundamental
facts.
Yes, the fundamental issues involved in that allegation. That is why we are calling for an independent investigation. If it is a concluded fact or it is a court judgment, we will not have been talking like this.
My question, Alhaji, following up to your previous statements, is that as a media person, anchor here, when I was at AIC, the same thing. I know what it takes to get guests to come to this show. I know what it takes to get, especially politicians, highly exposed persons. It's almost impossible. You have to introduce yourself. You have to send them videos. I mean, they know this, they know AIT, but you have to try and convince them of your bona fides. I saw this gentleman, this Prince Adeni, in a picture with the Deputy Speaker, Benjamin Kalu. Sir, I saw him in a picture with the EFCC chairman. That's the one that really, shocked me. Because I'm wondering, and I'm going somewhere with the fact that if this guy is a con artist, because I would expect it to take someone high up there making a soft landing for him with the order to say, yeah, this person is from me, give him attention or give him audience. So, is Mr. Bayo Onanuga in any way, is there any believability in that press release by Mr. Bayo Onanuga? Or like you said, are we just being taken for fools?
You see,
do you get CSA? Do you get CBN accounts without?
You see, Mr. Bayo Onanuga is a willing tool to be used, provided that there is an issue that has to do with saving the integrity, of the Tinubu administration. He's willing to do anything.
Damage control.
Yes, to do damage control. Just recently, his interviews have even shown, where he said he cannot see any hunger. And when issues were raised about, some of the fundamental economic indices, he normally quotes only his village, because his mind rotates around his village. So he has no experience anywhere else other than his village. And he also says they give them food, they give them this, they give them that. If you are a privileged to be in government and you are giving your village people food, is it are you talking about 230 million Nigerians? How many people are in your village? But having said that, I will tell you that I don't think any reasonable Nigerian will believe what Mr. Bayo Onanuga issued as a statement. It is merely, a damage control. And I believe that by the time this thing is subjected to forensic analysis, that statement will even be thrown away. But for the time being, he issued that statement as an afterthought. I say as an afterthought because the man himself, Prince Adeni, said, why is it that it is Gbajabiamila Amila that is issuing such a statement? Why is it not Bayo Onanuga or the rest? And so as an afterthought, they felt, okay, yes, there is a need for Bayo Onanuga to issue a statement. And so Bayo Onanuga, basking in that euphoria, perhaps the president knows or he doesn't even know. Either way, if the president knows, he will call them and say, go and sort this thing out. Remove me inside this matter and sort this thing out. If he doesn't know, they can say, okay, please, how do we save our faces in this matter? So please, this is what I want you to do, Bayo. And Bayo is a willing tool. He will do it because, not because of Gbajabiamila, but because of his principle. He doesn't want his principal's name to be drawn into a scandal, a national scandal for that matter. So I don't blame Bayo Ononuga for issuing that statement, but he should also know that Nigerians are not fools. We know that that statement was not, directed by Mr. President. In fact, Mr. President cannot direct a statement where other organizations will be quoted in that statement. That Office of the SSG wondered, the Foreign Affairs Ministry wondered. It can never happen. That statement can never come from the office of the President. When you are reporting the President, you report directly. Mr. President said this, he said that, he said that, he said this, he said that. You don't report that you queried this, that statement is full of errors, So I believe that with the benefit of hindsight, if a proper investigation is carried out, the real truth will be unearthed. And I don't see Mr. Adeni, he may have lied in some areas. I don't know. But I don't believe that everything that he has said is a lie, because some of them are backed by documentary evidence. And so if what you are saying is backed by documentary evidence, perhaps the studies surrounding the documentation of the evidence may be the issue. So that is the real story we want to know. Yeah? Perhaps what he is saying and how the thing happened may not be how it happened. But to come out completely and deny that the thing is fake, it didn't happen, that is why we are not in agreement with.
Because Bajabi Amila said completely that agency does not even exist.
No.
That it is fiction.
Yes, of course, does not exist. The reason why it does not exist, because it has not been given life. One, the budget of that agency has not been released. It is only on paper.
Yes.
It is in the budget,
yes,
but there is no release.
Yes.
The takeoff grant, which is supposed to allow the agency to start operations, has not been provided. It is one of the contending issues, the takeoff grant. You have to give 48%. So in essence, the agency has not yet taken off, but it has a staff strength. He has a letter from the head of service deploying 314 work staff. Whether that letter exists or not is also a question for investigation. Again, he has a letter appointing him by the chief of staff. Is that letter appointing him by the chief, is it a fake signature, or is it the chief of staff signature? A forensic examination will prove all these things. So the issue should not only revolve around a press statement. It should be an issue of, forensic investigation. And I believe that with an investigation, the truth will come out.
Alhaji, we're not just talking about a case of forgery and budget insertions. We've had cases of budget insertions. We have a bad history of budget insertions, National Assembly, executive, and all of those, This is not just a case of misrepresentation.
No, it has nothing to do with budget padding.
Aha. Beyond all of this is that there is an allegation of murder. Yes. And attempted murder.
Yes.
Because this Mr. Prince Adeni said they go between himself and the chief of staff, Femi Gbajabiamila, to whom he gave the 400 million naira, who also got his letter and all of those. That when he was arrested last year and he reported it, the police arrested him, and he made a statement that, yes, this middleman exists, and the police went to arrest the middleman. By the time they got to the hotel, the middleman had died in under a strange circumstance.
Yes.
Beyond that, himself, Prince Adeni, on his way to Kaduna, or maybe coming from Kaduna, either whichever one, there was an attempt on his life.
Yes.
The vehicle, there was maybe some assault or whatever.
Yes.
The documents, the laptops, phones were taken away. Of course, if you have an accident like I've had before, your stuff will be there. People will come rally around you. In his own case, everything that will have evidence of communication, they were all taken away. What does this say? Because I'm thinking Nollywood cannot do this script. This is in the realm of international, like Hollywood, because this is a classical spy, movie, crime movie, espionage. What is going on? Can you speak to this?
Well, if all these things he has said
yes,
are true, then it points to one thing. There is an attempt to cover up.
Yes.
In fact, the matter is not even expected to come into public
realm at all.
In the realm of public knowledge, but it has now come out, and the public is asking very hard questions, and the public wants to know the truth, and the public believes that there is an endemic corruption attempt under these allegations, and they ought to be investigated and the truth be established. And to me, I believe that even the terms of reference of the investigating panel, if set up, should not only stand at this matter. It should go to examine whether such things have been done previously. Like I told you on the third fund issue, whether those issues exist or that they are just rumors circulating. So if they really exist, we will know. If it is merely rumors, it clarifies everything, and then it puts everything, we put everything behind us, and then we move on. But press statements are not sufficient. They are not enough. Like I said, attempt, if the other go-between is dead, and attempts were made on his life, he had somersaulted, but God preserved him. Perhaps God preserved him for him to come out and tell us some of the scandals that we don't even know that is going on within the presidency and under the eagle eye of the Chief of Staff to Mr. President. I don't think the Chief of Staff needs to bother himself by trying to, flog this matter in the media. It's not a media thing. It is a matter that ought to be, investigated. Coming out to the media or bringing out the media people of the president to come and, debunk the story and to say the organization does not exist, or it's not the issue at the moment. We have already gone past that one. What we are now looking at is what will the government, if you are accused of any offense, you go to the person goes to court or the other person goes to, but this is government. When government is accused, if you can't go to court to sue Bajaber Miller because he is acting on behalf of somebody, he is acting on behalf of the federal government of the federation. He is acting under the orders of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So you are going to sue the president. When you sue the president in court, these are the issues you are going to likely bring. But if you are going to bring them, these are agencies that are within the government. They will not cooperate with the court order. But if it is an independent investigation, the independent investigation can go to CBN and say, explain to us how this account was opened. They will go to head of service. Did you order this thing? Who gave you the order to give this man 314 members of staff? They will go to SGF. Did you issue any letter? Or what do you know about this appointment? All these things, they will go round and find out. And then they will go to police and say, okay, police, was there an issue like this before you before? And that you made an attempt to go and to arrest somebody, and then you went and found that he was dead in a hotel room. And all these things will be brought out clearly. They will form the prima facie evidence for.
Maybe also get involved with the telecom provider.
Yes.
Of this man.
Yes.
Whether the phone is lost or not, they can get the number from MTN, check all his call logs.
Exactly.
All his SMSs and everything.
Yes. So all these things can be brought out clearly. So there is no cause for alarm as it is now. In fact, let me be very sincere with you. I believe that the man came out to speak to preserve his life. Because now he is in the eye of the storm. And every Nigerian is looking at him. Anything that happens to him, we know that something is amiss. So nothing will happen to him. So government is now on fire. So government has to come out.
So his silence would have enabled him, if it was possible or if it is true.
Yes.
He would have been silenced.
He would have been eliminated.
Eliminated.
Yes, since.
So by coming out now.
By coming out now, he has burst the bubble. No, having now burst the bubble, it is very clear, that his life, even if it is threatened, is now preserved. Because the public outcry is now suggesting investigation. And if he had already made a claim that somebody was killed in the matter, and then his life now is also touched, then the public will know, yes, that the matter is true. It's a total cover-up. Now he can be arrested. He cannot even be sleeping well anyway, as it is now. But again, he should be confident, that he should be under some protection.
This entire situation, Alhaji, what does this say about and the approach of the presidency now? Especially that Bayo Onanuga came out to issue the statement he issued. Rather than, because you're an inside person, you've been in the presidency, you know how the system works. What does this say about the integrity of this present presidency? What does this say?
This presidency is not a listening one. Once a presidency is not a listening one, it doesn't care. Whatever they want to do, that is what they do. Even in terms of, a lot of people have been shouting that there is no opposition. Opposition are not putting them, under checks. But the issue is, we have never seen this type of politics in Nigeria. From the First Republic up to now, we have never seen this type of politics, where the presidency will be interfering in all political parties. So people are fighting for their survival. What time do they have to play opposition? You have almost all the political parties are in problem. Is it the PDP? Is it the ADC? Is it the NDC? Is it the NMPP? Is it PRP? Even SDP. Every political party, is it Accord? If you are not fighting for your survival, you are fighting to stop your extinction. Some people have been taken to court so that the party will be deregistered. Some people have been taken to court so that the ESCO in this one is not the correct ESCO. This is the correct ESCO. These are all the issues. So you are fighting an internal battle, trying to survive as a political party, and then people are now there shouting the opposition is not united. No, the opposition cannot be united under the current circumstance. And the most painful thing is that all tiers of government are involved. The life wire of any country is the judiciary. One of the strongest points of India is that they have, a judiciary that is independent, and the judiciary delivers in terms of, judgments. We have seen even the judiciary in Africa. Is it not in Kenya that a sitting president, his election was nullified? Has it ever happened in Nigeria? It can never happen. Is it not in Malawi that a sitting president election was nullified? The judiciary is the backbone, but our judiciary is complicit. And the reason why they were complicit is immediately this administration came into being. Apart from increasing the salaries of judges by 100%, when other people were shouting, increase our salary, judges' salaries were increased by 100%, and the monies that they were not even looking for was given to them. When they did that fuel subsidy, when he was sharing money to judiciary, to this, because he wants to grab them. There is very few of them now that are not afraid of the government. So they are always dishing out, judgments, in favor of the government. Even when you are at you are not too confident that you will go to the judiciary and get judgment, even when you know you are right, because the judgment may have some interference.
Let me ask you, Alhaji, one or two more before we tidy up on this and move on to something else. What should the president do? Or is it that the president is not aware of what is going on? Should Mr. Gbajabiamila, some are calling for him, like the presidential candidate of the ADC, VP Atiku Abubakar, has said the president should suspend Mr. Gbajabiamila, an independent probe should be instituted. What do you say?
Yes, that's the right thing to do. It is the right thing to do. It should be, because his presence will interfere with the investigation. If he is still there, he will be giving instructions. Please don't do this. Please, IG, don't do this. But if he is suspended, he has no powers. He cannot, authorize anybody to do anything. And so the investigating panel will be able to unearth this thing, explicitly for people to see, that, yes, this is the real situation of things. And I don't know whether the president knows or he doesn't know. For some time now, the papers have reported also that the president has not been out for about 2 weeks. So perhaps these things are happening behind his back. He's not even aware. And even if he's aware, it is they that are the ones that will tell him what's happening. And so if they have a connivance, all they are in the same league, then nothing will happen. Because in the villa, the media people play a very important role. I know that by 9 o'clock, I will have analyzed all the newspapers in Nigeria. Write a brief story on every issue that affects the government. Every issue. Even if somebody down there made a very minute comment and said this government is rubbish, I must bring it out and say on page so, there is somebody whose name is so, mentioned this. Or an association like this, they said this. You make a complete summary of everything and you take it to Mr. President or to Vice President. Then they will read it. They will be ticking. If they have read the first one, they'll tick. If there is one that they need you to respond, they will write, okay, respond to this, respond to this, respond to this. So the president ought to know everything that is going on in Nigeria every day, in the morning, first thing in the morning. But if they don't take it to him, how will he know? Except if it is a president who is very inquisitive or who is very curious, who has a phone, who can be looking at those information from the phone or TV, television, you know, and you know, televisions don't go reporting this type of issues too exclusively. You know, they may report it like a, you know, a controversy has erupted within the press. Then he needs explanation from these same people. I saw this thing. What is happening? It is there that will explain to him what is actually happening. So it's the version that they give him that he will take.